approximately $14 billion in 2023 to $36 billion by 2028. Thanks to the adoption of advanced technologies such as IoT, edge computing, blockchain, data analytics, as well as increased internet connectivity through smart devices for presenting this humongous opportunity in front of us. As multinational companies are expanding in the new geographies, they see an increased demand for the geomarketing solutions that can help them personalize the messaging or branding based on consumers' culture, demographic, and linguistic preferences. While this industry is led by giants such as IBM, Google, Oracle, Microsoft, GfK, Cisco, startups are not lagging behind. They are definitely pushing their innovative solutions into the ecosystem to bring some interesting innovations and opportunities. While this is an exciting space, there are still a lot of questions around regulations, policies, ROI impacts of different technologies, and adoption of these technologies. Because adoption of new technology is never easy, it's never smooth. And that's the reason Andrey and I are sitting with Przemek today to learn from his experience and insights about the geomarketing space, how it is growing, what are the challenges, how it will evolve in the next 10 years, and so on and so forth. This is Pankaj Gupta from EthAum Venture Partners. We are a deep tech revenue accelerator and fund based out of Singapore with approximately 100 portfolio startups from different parts of the world, stages and sectors. Most of the times, these startups are B2B at a stage where they have done meaningful business in their primary market, serving a couple of Fortune 1000 organizations, and now they have aspirations and ambitions to expand in new geographies. Today's Fireside chat is extremely exciting. Again, we are going to talk about innovations in geomarketing space. Andrey, who is the co-host, he is the CMO and co-founder at GeoAlert, and he will be moderating the panel with Przemek. Okay, Andrey, why don't you go ahead and do a brief intro of yourself and GeoAlert, and then we would request our esteemed panelists to go ahead and talk about himself and GfK. Andrey, please.
Okay. Thank you, Pankaj. Thank you, Pankaj, for these words. And you are deeply involved in our industry. Our industry, geomatics and geomarketing, mapping, absolutely crazy. Probably is the best industry in the world. No financial industry, no telecom, just geomatics. So thank you, dear colleagues. I'm really pleased to moderate today's discussion on topic in which I have been involved for more than 10 or 15 years. More than 15 years I created geomarketing community, and it was great experience personally for me. And probably I can say that I started my professional way in geomatic from geomarketing. And for more than 10 years, I taught a course on geomarketing at one of the leading East European business schools. So I taught a Bachelor of Management. Bachelor of Management, no GIS students, no geography students. It was Bachelor of Management. And often these students were not young guys. It was real businessmen. So I deeply understand what a lot of geomarketing, how can we use geomarketing, and so on and so forth. So just now, I'm senior at GeoAlert company, and we develop AI mapping platform, and we help different companies, including geomarketing companies, from searching locations for vending machine up to population calculation. We develop open platform where you can try to extract different objects of our real world, from building footprints to road networks. And we'll be really happy to discuss about more geomarketing. And I'm really eager to learn more from Przemek, from our distinguished speaking today about modern geomarketing, about what we will have on the topic of geomarketing in the last 10 or 20 years. So, Przemek, please introduce yourself. And I'm really happy to see a really person from GFK company. It was my, really dream. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me here. I'm really excited. I have to say that geomarketing rocks. And I think that this would be a very good beginning for this conversation. Hello from Poland, Warsaw, Poland. I've been working for GFK more than for 15 years. GFK is an international market intelligence company that is also active in geomarketing field. And I personally have been dealing with geomarketing for these 15 years, incorporating geomarketing in our consulting services. So I'm really happy to have this opportunity to share my experiences with you.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Przemek, for the introduction. Andrey, I know you got some really exciting questions that you want to ask Przemek. So why don't we take this opportunity to move ahead and get insights from Przemek, yeah?
Yeah, for sure. Returning to my experience when I was an inviting lecturer at business school, during my classes, there were invited representatives from the largest retail groups, banks, financial sectors, and for sure, geomarketing and GIS companies. So, and year after year, I conducted a survey of graduates about geomarketing usage in their company, where they work now. And to be honest, I can say that I'm very happy with their answers. Yet the dynamic was quite positive, And I'd like first ask you, Przemek, about the biggest your probably personal or corporate frustration or challenge in the geomarketing space. What are you waiting for? What you are expecting for? And probably, for sure, more than I. So. What do you think about geomarketing? What your frustration? What challenge in geomarketing space now?
Oh, there is plenty of, and I will try to name a couple of them. Maybe a personal story that some time ago, when I used to run a business unit with GFK, we called this business unit geomarketing, right? And then we realized that there is not such a big recognition and understanding what geomarketing was. So we decided to switch the name from geomarketing to customer analytics and sales strategies. Just because this new name, in my opinion, was better illustrating what we were actually doing in our everyday job, right? Then what has happened over the course of last years, the new term has arrived, such as location intelligence, for example, right? So basically the first frustration I can name is that geomarketing is not that well known, recognized among potential or end users, and also to some extent that its name and the area of interest is like disrupted by the other names, such as, for example, location insights. So that's the first thing. Maybe the second, which is also important, is that in contradiction to what you said about your experiences with bank representatives or banking industry representatives or retail, when we cope with banking, retailers, real estate, and distributors, because these are the four major areas or industries that geomarketing is useful for, we not necessarily use the geomarketing or even location insights naming. We really try to focus on the solutions or the answers for the pain points that we can deliver with use of geomarketing tools, right? But not necessarily underlining that we use geomarketing. We more use wording of consulting, right? Because in general, we can split geomarketing in like two legs, right? One is like delivering the tools, and the second leg is delivering the answers to the business questions that is like prepared thanks to those tools. So the frustration is that I have a personal experience that name it geomarketing on location insights. It's not like that is well recognized tool that can support specific business decisions among employees of specific industries that can benefit from the tools, right? So because when we think about the GIS people, when we think about the geography, right, when we think about the technical schools or agriculture or space industry, so that is kind of self-evident, right? That geomarketing is like a name everybody is familiar with, right? But when we come to the relation geomarketing people and business people, I think that there is like a big gap, and education of people about the benefits of geomarketing is the biggest challenge, right? And this at the same time has been the biggest frustration for me because, for example, when thinking about the sales process, right? So the whole sales process has always been for me like education process first, then just to trying to show people, okay, so what would be the benefits with use of geomarketing tools, right? And then very often, and this is my really big pleasure, I experienced like brain-blowing experience at client side, right? So really, I think that geomarketing is underestimated, not well familiarized, maybe not enough promoted, right? And the benefits can be really high, big, important, and even more important than from like regular market intelligence solutions.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That I see the same process when we're talking about geomarketing. So just now, many geomarketing companies started from GIS sector. They created maps, some data analytics, and sell data, demographic data, traffic data. They anonymize mobile telecom operator and merge this data with pedestrian traffics and sell to big retail, so on and so forth. So many geomarketing companies started from GIS, from geometric industry. Just now, I see that all these companies moved to BI sector. They don't say words about GIS, maps, GPS devices, so on and so forth. No, BI, business intelligence. We know more. We know everything about your customers. We know your financial transaction. We know average check, something like that. It's about BI. It's not about just now. Unfortunately, I'm personally a geographer, and I'm really sad about that. Geomarketing just now, it's my own opinion, not about geography. It's about economic, it's about statistic, it's about financial procedures. It's not about maps just now. So probably it's a reason.
Absolutely. For me, this is my personal experience that geomarketing is all about combination of customer data, market potential data, and adding to all of this, this geographic component, right? So, and I agree that this what you actually said is kind of a market evolution that we can observe in the last years, right? That in general, the analytics has, the importance of analytics has increased, right? So everybody is talking about the BI, right? Everybody is talking about the better understanding of the consumer or competitive landscape. Everybody is talking about the applying machine learning or even AI to the better understanding of the customer and about better profiling of the communication to the client, right? So, and this is happening. This has been happening over the last couple of years. But again, I think that geomarketing was even before, right? It's just a matter of unequal understanding of the geomarketing. there is like more better known buzzwords such as AI or BI that has taken the field over, right? And not necessarily put geomarketing apart, but created more challenges for the geomarketing, right? Because of course you have mapping component in the Microsoft Office package, right? You have like a mapping component into the standard BI solutions, right? So it's not like that the area of data mapping has been ignored by the big players, right? I think that the thing is that as long as geomarketing has been and will be developed by geographies, right? So it will still be missing, this business component, right? And this is very important for me because I also see it, for example, with in contact with like big GIS players, right? That they are like excellent in developing the additional functionalities, features to the software, right? But still, they very often miss, the experience at the client side, and they miss the understanding of what is it for actually, right? And how can it be translated into the business operations and decisions? And first, and secondly, how can it be maybe standardized or at least rolled out for other customers?
In many cases they are providing only GIS tools, and you are welcome to do what you want with these GIS tools, combine some and create your industry. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So geomarketing has been around for more than decades. Yeah, for sure. Yet last 15-20 years significantly changed it. Yeah, and these technological changes affected topics that are studied with my students and tools we used. So in the course was started in 2011 or 2010, and we started working with really simple technologies, even paper maps. So we use Google Maps, something like that, to create to solve some geomarketing use cases. It was almost 15 years ago. So, and during this period, during the last 15 years, I'm really excited about how all technologies we use in geomarketing changed. So we started from paper maps 15 years ago and Google Map. Just now, I have WebGIS, ArcGIS Online, Carto, and many other tools, really simple and user-friendly tools. Every marketers, every managers can use these tools. It's really simple. And we have data from mobile operators. We have information about website visitors. It's really useful for today's business. And the question for you is how geomarketing space has evolved in the last 10, probably 15 years, and how do you foresee it evolving in the next 10 years? Probably we have to pay more attention to mobile devices or to CEOR, I mean website analysis. I remember times when we analyzed phone code to locate call to our company from different customers from different towns around the country. So just now it's possible only in one click. In our CRM, I have all calls, I have all emails, and all these emails geo-targeted by IP using or mobile telecom operators code. It's really easy to get a code, and it's really easy to extract information from Google Analytics. Yeah, if we are talking about some online retail and so on and so forth. So what do you see in last 10 years and next 10 years about technology in geomarketing?
Yeah. So first of all, after the paper maps that you mentioned, the desktop solutions has arrived, right? So everybody involved in GIS started to use desktop software, right?
Like UGS. But for my students, it was absolutely crazy software, because the first level grade and QGIS 10 years ago. It was absolutely crazy.
People not necessarily remember that, and still there are tools in the market that are desktop based, right? But of course, the evolution from paper through desktop to online tools, this is the first thing that has happened, right? So the evolution of tools, right? And the integration of these tools with BI systems of the end users, right? So this is something that also has happened. Then we already mentioned it, but in general, BI system developments, right? So that's something also kind of new. I think that the more and more companies notice that geomarketing can't be a nice business, and simply supplies of players in the market has also increased, right? So there is like more and more providers that provide different types of tools, meaning maps, analytical tools, meaning software, and the data, right? And of course, in the digital era, the supply of data has increased dramatically, right? Which is also the big evolution to compare it with 10 years back from now, but also one of the biggest challenges and frustrations, because I don't feel that we already closed the idea and the topic of the frustrations, because it probably will like come back a couple of times yet. But definitely, for example, the fact that we have plenty of mobile data is the advantage and the evolution, but also this brings lots of challenges with that, because first of all, supply of the data is not equal across countries, right?
Absolutely.
Then we have like the issues with the quality and with the noise in the data, right? The noise is coming from the fact that we have like at least 3 types of the sources for the mobile data, such as mobile operators, applications, and the marketing servers, right? So for example, on one hand, with these new players offering this geomarketing location insights solutions, they just go to the market and spread the news about the new wonderful solutions and data. On the other hand, very often the quality of that solutions is doubtful, right? Because, for example, these are the marketing companies that have access to data, but don't know how to use this data, how to combine this data with other data, how to clear the data, and in order to erase the noise, right? But they have like this internal imperative that they need to monetize the data they have, right? So this is also a challenge for the industry, because this is the risk for somebody who didn't have experience with geomarketing before, and now is being approached by the new startup or the marketing company that is trying to monetize data, right? And is convinced, but then received something that is poor quality, right?
Garbage in, garbage out. Garbage in, garbage out.
Absolutely, but this is something that I experienced, for example, because the more new players you have that are unexperienced, the higher risk that they will, to some extent, I don't want to say destroy, but that touch the issue of the reliability of like recognized providers, right? Because we already spoke about the education, but for example, with this appearance of the 3 types of the mobile data sources, we really spent a lot of time convincing clients which type of the data is better for their needs, right? And and there is also the big difference in pricing of the different types of data, right? So cheaper doesn't mean better, but also more expensive doesn't mean better, right? It really depends on the goal of the analysis, right? And so the education that we maybe should switch into the cheaper or maybe into the more expensive data because this data source is like a better applicable for your need is something that consumes time, right? And it's a big challenge for experienced people in geomarketing, right? So
Yeah, right.
but not only because the data quality and the coverage is not only referring to the mobile data, because actually there is like lots of location data that can be, for example, scrapped from the internet, right?
Yeah,
And of
absolutely.
course, on one hand, the scrapping, web scrapping is relatively quick and fast. On the other hand, also it collects lots of garbage, right? And
Right.
any machine learning based tools that will be able to clean the data, right? And just to increase its reliability will be something that is very important for the future, right? Because on one hand we have the relatively easy access to the new data, right? But on the other hand, with locations insights, when we really speak about the areas that we analyze that can be like 300 meters, 500 meters, big, right? It is extremely important to have reliable data about the, I don't know, building supply, companies supply, retail outlet supply, and so on, right? And the problem is that that I don't want to say that scrapping is bad, but scrapping is basing on the data that is available, and the data on the website is very often outdated, right? And that's the point.
It's the same situation when we're talking about cadastral system, about mapping. All maps outdated because today the situation was changed this morning. So you're absolutely right about data quality and extremely located data. I think, in my point of view, geomarketing is becoming more and more personal. We have to have more information about person, about our customer, about our user, or something like that. And personal data is becoming increasingly regulated. It's what do you think about this challenge? Probably some policies. We are talking a lot about policies, regulations in our industry, in mapping, in cartography. We are under the high press from different levels, from government level up to software developers level. Everyone have to add some security information, de-anonymizing, regulate AI using, up to regulate AI using for data scramming, for data updating, for data extracting. So, and personalized data is crucial for geomarketing. But what we will do with all these regulations around personal data, about spatial, about location data? In some cases, it's also blocked for using. What do you see?
That's the big challenge, because it differs across geographies, right? So it's different in Europe and it's different in Asia, for example, right? In Asia, you don't have this problem of GDPR, for example. So the access to the data is easier, right? And you can get like richer data about the people, for example. In Europe, we have GDPR, and that's a big challenge because, of course, it limits, the analysis and the things that we can do with the data, right? And therefore, the three types of the sources of this mobile data must be repeated, right? Because the mobile data is coping with the GDPR friendly sources, right? So that's quite of easy, but the coverage of the data, right, is a challenge. And by coverage, I mean what is, for example, the total number of mobile subscribers against the total population, right? That it will be always a portion of the population that can be taken into the consideration when analyzing this data. Marketing service data are relatively cheap, provide better coverage, but the quality of it, plus the customized data about each user, can be doubtful, right? So it means that it is somehow extrapolated. Not everybody knows how it is being done. So to some extent, my experience is that some people can think that this is a good alternative to the mobile phone operators data, but it cannot be used such as an alternative. And of course, we have the application data that is like the richest source in terms of the personalized data, can be, not necessarily is, right? But again, we have like open applications and we have like closed applications for the specific, the companies. And I am not sure if big retailers, for example, that have their own apps can already utilize the value of the data they have. This is my doubt, and this is also the challenge that is connected with the need of education of markets, how to proceed with that and how to benefit from the data. In terms of the open applications data, there will be always a depth of the coverage, right? So name it, for example, you have like plenty of applications that have like 3 to 5 million users, right? It looks massive from the like a marketing perspective, that this is like the database of 5 million users, right, that I can address my communication to, and this is fine. But the analytical world, right, is completely different. And as long as we don't know too much about the coverage, about the representativeness of this data, we cannot perceive this data as totally valuable, right? So this is always the quality of the data must be assessed. So, and what I'm heading to is that applications maybe, right, is somehow the source that can be useful in the countries that have challenges with GDPR.
I see.
But we always bring the question of the coverage. That is because once again, that's significant difference between supply of the big portion of data for the marketing use versus supply of the selected big data for the analytical use, right? So once again, when we have like a 1 million database in applications, from the marketing perspective and the sending out the communication is big, right? From the analytical perspective, when we want to dig into the market penetrations or the observations how the consumers move across cities or the districts in the cities, right? It comes up that even on the country level, 5 million is not big enough.
Yeah,
and that is what I mean.
Yeah, I got it. So you're absolutely right. And so what I see that in many cases we will have more inner development related with geomarketing use cases. Every big retail or probably financial structure will have their own geomarketing department, and there will be no way to develop some geomarketing instruments or data from open market to these groups, because it's all these questions about rules and regulations, about data anonymizing and so on and so forth. So yeah, for sure. let's wait and see. Who knows? And you were absolutely right about technology adoption in different companies. Having experience communicating with young students or even with real businessmen who implements or GeoMarketing in their companies, I often been guided by absolutely great book by Roger Tomlinson, Thinking About GIS. I've seen many examples of GeoMarketing implementation in different companies, from the level of creating, presentations for big bosses, where all stores were marked on a paper map. In other companies, other way, they use GeoMarketing only for searching for new store locations. In other cases, extremely rare. I've seen that GeoMarketing and GS Analytic in common were given a really decisive role. So I see a huge challenge here. So how we adopt GeoMarketing into business processes. So I taught a lot of students, management students, and they don't know about geography analysis, because there are no GIS, no business geography at the school level and at the universities. There are no courses about geography and geographical analysis in management education system, in marketing education system, even financial education systems. There are no words about geography. There are no words about GIS. So then this is playmaker in retail, in financial sector, who have degree in marketing management. There are they don't know nothing about GIS, GeoMarketing. So what businesses impacts are driving technology adoption, GeoMarketing technology adoption? What do we need to increase in adoption our technology into the different businesses? What do you think about that?
I would say that we would need to focus on maybe it will sound brutally, but on the clever selling process, right? Because when we want to adapt, right, we need to sell.
We need to sell more effectively. Yeah, we need to sell more effectively.
And when it comes to the selling, which to some extent or to some point will be equal to the education of the market, right? We need to underline, the benefits. Once again, benefits. The word that I keep repeating of what does GeoMarketing solutions bring to business, right? Mm-hmm. So and just before moving on. An example, right? So when you go to the car dealer, right, and you ask a question about how much is the car, right? So the salesperson will tell you, okay, but what kind of car, right? What model, what engine,
color, even color.
What equipment and so on, right?
Yeah.
So and this analogy is very appropriate for the GeoMarketing, right? So there is a huge difference when talking about, okay, do you want to buy a GeoMarketing, right? Or would you like to buy a solution that, for example, secures your business decisions, right? That for example increases the hit rate of your decision when planning new locations, for example, right? That, for example, gives you the opinion that is based on facts and the data analysis, not just on your gut feeling, right? So because these are these benefits that are brought by GeoMarketing, right? So by clever analysis, you can really have a very, very attractive output in terms of the figures that tell you about the market size, about the market utilization, about the market potential in general, right? About the assessment of your business plans, right? And when you really combine the different data sources, such as clients' data, right? With the geography reference and the market potential data that is like covered by the analyzed geographies, you can really get lots of valuable information about your current situation in the local markets, micro markets, not even the local market, right? Because from the global perspective, local market might be the whole continent, right? From the country perspective, local market might be the specific city or even part of this city, right? So when we think about the geomarketing, we really think about the micro level, but don't miss it with micromanagement, right? Because it's some completely different thing, right? So really, you know, the business, despite the fact that it can be like managed on the global or regional level, comprises of the lots of local decisions that must be made, right? And the decisions are based on the knowledge, right? And the geomarketing brings this local knowledge to the table, and enriched with the proper analysis even increases, you know, the value of this knowledge, right? And so when thinking about the future of the geomarketing, how to promote it, how to educate the market, how to sell it, right, how to increase the perception of the value, we really need to think about the value proposition that it brings to the everyday users, right? And when thinking about the value proposition, you are not thinking about the geomarketing as a, to some extent, buzzword, right? You think about
like magic wand, like magic wand.
Exactly. You just think about the really the answers to the crucial fundamental business question that geomarketing can refer to, right? And that's crucial in order to be successful in developing any geomarketing initiative.
Yeah, yes. You know, from the business side, I can share our own company's experience. You know, we had a lot of inquiries from geomarketing from BI companies, and they asked us about household calculation or even calculate all buildings. Yeah, we can easily do that with our AI platform, Metflow. Yeah, and the next question from these companies, oh, okay, guys, we see that, okay, it's possible to calculate households and buildings with your software. Next one, okay, please add information about number of flats or number of peoples, or divide all this population by age. And we say, and we answer, we can't do that. We need to collaborate more with different GIS companies. And when we start this process, we faced with some problems. The first of all, every company have a lot of current tasks. There's no way to collaborate with other companies and to discuss IT integration on something like that. Because in many cases, first you have to provide data, then your customer will pay you for that. In our case, at first, we need to collaborate with other companies. We need to pay salary for additionally hired staff. And after that, we will sell the product. It's really a huge challenge I see for today's cool GIS market. We have to more cooperate. We have connect with other companies from different parts of the world. We have to enrich, we have to merge, we have to fusion our data. Without that, we will, it's no way for geomarketing. I see it's my point of view, it's my personal point of view, based on my experience in geomarketing and GIS sphere. We need to collaborate more with different companies. Yet, to be honest, I don't know how I can young startups cooperate with such a leader companies like GfK, you know. So of course GfK has own solutions and probably don't want to share their experience with other companies. So
I disagree, Andrey. I disagree
absolutely.
because what I'm doing now, I'm just sharing my experience, right? And,
absolutely right. Yeah, and it's really it's really cool. It's cool.
The application of geomarketing is also different across different countries in GFK, right? So it's not like that is like a common value and common solution that is applicable, everywhere. So really it depends on the expertise, right? And on one hand, on the other hand, there is lots of startups that is coming to me, for example, right? And they sometimes have valuable proposition, but they don't know how to get through. They don't know how to measure, the value of the proposition, right? And they need to go through their own way, because it's not like that I am within GFK, so I can name this startup has a valuable and good proposition and this not, right? Because at the end, this is a client that votes with his money, right? About whether this proposition is good or not. So it's not like that startups cannot compete with companies such as GFK. It's not always about the competition. Sometimes it's about cooperation. Sometimes about better understanding the market, right? And sometimes I have a feeling that customers, the end users, are more eager to talk to startups than to GeoMarketing, than to, for example, companies such as GFK.
They're afraid of bureaucracy.
No, but they also think that the geomarketing is still a niche market, right?
Absolutely right.
So it's not like that everybody that each customer at GFK knows that GFK does geomarketing, right? On the other hand, when the new startups comes, right? So they believe that this might be the new value that maybe GFK or any other player in the market doesn't have, right? So this is why really customers do not think don't always think from the perspective of providers and the solutions that are whether in the area of expertise of specific companies. They very often think about that they need to solve the problem, right?
Yeah.
And when they start to think about the solving the problem, they start to search for the provider of the answers, right?
Yeah.
And from this perspective, I think that the chances of the startup and the GFK maybe not necessarily are equal, right? But it's not like that, the corporation is a dragon here and the startup is a mouse here, right? So not necessarily, really.
Yeah, absolutely great. So I see Pankaj here, but my own feeling is that we are only at the starting point of our discussion.
I have a feeling that we are just finished our warm up.
Yeah, for sure. It was an introduction. Pankaj, many thanks for this discussion. It was absolutely great. I guess we will discuss with Przemek more about geomarketing, about our fascinating industry, and about our possibilities to feed all businesses with high and really quality data without any limits. It was great.
I think it was a fantastic conversation. Przemek, I now I see how passionate you are about this topic. I could see that passion when you were talking about marketing innovations, GDPR regulations, challenges, and the future, right? So really appreciate your time. And I know that we could have kept going with this for hours and hours, but yeah, it's a Friday, right? So we have to move on. But hey, really appreciate your time, Przemek, and let's reconnect in the next few weeks and see how we can collaborate, how we can support each other, and partner. Yeah.
It has been a pleasure, guys. Thank you for having me. I told you geomarketing rocks.
Absolutely.
Now I know.
Absolutely agree. Without geography, you are nowhere. Without geography, you are nowhere.
Thank you, Przemek. Thank you, Andrey, for moderating the event so well. And we'll reconnect soon. Thank you. Take care. Stay safe.
Okay. Thank you, colleagues. Bye.